Have you ever been there? You wake up early, you've had a crazy busy day, and you absolutely need to get some sleep, but then the house is finally quiet, and you find yourself wide awake, fighting off sleep just to get a little bit of me time. So why do we do this to ourselves? Well, today we're going to unravel the fascinating psychology and biology behind why so many of us stay up, even when we know we shouldn't.
Oh, this screen. It's a familiar sight, isn't it? That moment you're just caught in this endless loop. One more video, one more chapter, just one more scroll through your feed. You can already feel how rough tomorrow morning is going to be, but you just can't bring yourself to put the phone down and turn off the lights. It turns out this isn't just a simple bad habit. For a lot of us, it's actually a specific recognized behavior.
So let's meet the first character in our story, the person who intentionally, and that's the key word here, intentionally pushes back their bedtime. This isn't about not being able to sleep like with insomnia. Nope, this is a deliberate choice to trade sleep for a little slice of personal freedom. And this behavior, it actually has a name.
See, this isn't just you being undisciplined. It's a real thing. The term bedtime procrastination was actually coined in a 2014 study to describe this exact behavior. You're actively choosing to put off sleep even when you are fully aware that you're going to pay for it with a whole lot of fatigue the next day.
And this quote right here, it adds a really powerful layer to the whole story. It helped popularize the term revenge bedtime procrastination, and it just perfectly captures the feeling behind it, doesn't it? The revenge is against a day where you felt like you had no control, a crazy schedule, a demanding boss, just taking care of everyone else's needs. That one late night hour feels like a tiny act of rebellion, a way to reclaim time that feels like it's finally yours.
And make no mistake, this is a massive issue. Estimates suggest that around 40% of adults in the U.S. sleep less than the recommended amount. Now, of course, not all of this is because of revenge procrastination, but it shows you just how widespread the sleep problem is. We're basically a society running on empty, often by our own choice. But is it always a choice?
Okay, so this is where our story takes a really interesting turn. We've talked about the procrastinator, right? But there's a whole other type of night owl out there, someone who isn't staying up late to get revenge on their day, but because they're just, well, they're built differently.
This chart just lays it out so clearly. On one side, you've got the bedtime procrastinator. Staying up is a choice, and it leaves them feeling totally drained. But on the other side, you have the natural short sleeper. For them, it is not a choice at all. It's just a biological reality that's literally written in their DNA, and they feel completely energized on just a few hours of sleep. The catch? They are incredibly rare. We're talking only about 1 to 3% of the entire population. So, what about you? Could you be one of these incredibly rare individuals? Let's take a closer look at the science behind what some people are calling a genuine genetic superpower.
So here's the formal definition. A familial natural short sleeper, or FNSS, isn't just someone who's really good at functioning while tired. No, they are fundamentally different. It's a lifelong thing. They've needed less sleep their entire lives, and they wake up feeling refreshed and ready to go, while the rest of us are desperately hitting the snooze button. They aren't sleep-deprived. Their brains are just wired for maximum efficiency.
And just look at how different they are. The traits that are tied to these genetic mutations, they sound almost like a list of superpowers, right? They're often more productive, more resilient to stress, they have a higher pain tolerance, and even better memory. So it's not just about needing less sleep, it's this whole package of high-functioning traits. And get this might be the most incredible part. Research using mouse models suggests that the very same genes that let them get by on so little sleep might also act as a defense against neurodegenerative diseases. In some studies, mice that had both the short sleeper genes and genes linked to Alzheimer's actually showed fewer signs of dementia. It's just a stunning look into the powerful link between our sleep genetics and our long-term brain health.
But remember, that's the rare 1%. So, what about the rest of us? The other 99%. What happens to our brains when we, who are not natural short sleepers, consistently get too little rest?
Well, a recent research paper used this really powerful genetic method. You can think of it like a natural experiment. By looking at the gene variants people are born with, scientists can figure out if a sleep habit actually causes a brain outcome instead of just being correlated with it. They were looking for hard proof of causation.
So what did this study find for the vast majority of us? People who might be genetically prone to shorter sleep, but don't have those amazing protective superpower mutations. Well, the results are crystal clear, and honestly, they're pretty concerning.
The first proven causal link is to
First up, they found a measurable drop in overall cognitive performance. And this isn't just about feeling a little groggy. We're talking about your brain's core processing power, its ability to think and reason and understand, taking a direct, scientifically proven hit.
The study also proved that it causes a decline in what's called fluid intelligence. Now, that's your ability to think on your feet, to solve new and unexpected problems, and to see patterns. That little revenge hour you're taking is literally costing you the mental sharpness and adaptability you desperately need for the next day.
Now, the study also looked at insomnia, which is a different issue from procrastination, but it's another common reason for sleep loss. And what they found here points to a very specific and very serious long-term risk.
They discovered that a genetic predisposition to insomnia was causally linked to a 13% higher risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. Just let that sink in for a second. This makes the stakes incredibly high. Getting consistent, quality sleep isn't a luxury, it's an absolutely essential defense for the long-term health of our brains.
Okay, so we've seen the problem, we've seen the very real risks. The good news is that for the vast majority of us who are bedtime procrastinators, this is a behavior, and behaviors can be changed. So let's look at how you can reclaim your night in a healthy way.
Here are 4 really simple evidence-based steps. First, build a consistent routine to signal to your brain that, hey, it's time to wind down. Second, and this is a big one, put away the screens an hour before bed. That blue light actively fights against the sleep hormones your body needs to produce. Third, lay off the evening caffeine and alcohol, which seriously mess with your sleep quality. And finally, find a healthier way to get your me time. Get your revenge on stress by journaling, or reading a real book, or taking a hot shower, activities that actually calm your mind instead of just stimulating it.
So, we end with this question. Understanding the difference between a bedtime procrastinator and a true natural short sleeper is really empowering. It helps us see our late-night habits not as some kind of necessity, but as a choice with very real consequences. The desire for a moment of freedom is completely valid, but maybe, just maybe, the real freedom is found in giving your brain the rest it truly needs to thrive.
Okay, let's talk about why we stay up way too late, even when we know better. You know the feeling. It's late, but you're still scrolling, just trying to get some me time. And hey, it's not just you. A huge 40% of American adults don't get enough sleep. So what's going on here? Well, science actually has a name for this: bedtime procrastination. Basically, it's choosing to delay a sleep for something you'd much rather be doing. So why do we do it? Think low self-control, lots of stress, and yeah, our phones. But sometimes it's more than just doom scrolling. For some, especially early risers, it's about revenge. It's called revenge bedtime procrastination. It's about taking back control of your own time. But maybe you think, hey, I'm just built different. I don't need much sleep. Well, are you sure? So let's break this down. There's a big difference between a habit and, your actual DNA. These people are natural short sleepers. They're literally wired to thrive on just a few hours of sleep. And it gets better. They're often more resilient, productive, and can even handle pain better. But don't get your hopes up. This is super rare. We're talking 1 to 3% of us. So for the other 97% of us, losing sleep isn't a superpower. It's actually a problem. A new study used a really cool method to find the direct impact of sleep on our brains. And the findings are pretty stark. Less sleep causes your brain to perform worse. Period. It directly messes with your memory and your ability to think on your feet.
And the long-term risk is serious. They found a causal link between insomnia and Alzheimer's.
Okay, but the good news is you can totally fight this and protect your brain. Here are a few simple things you can try. A digital curfew is huge. So is a regular schedule. So next time you're about to hit play after midnight, maybe ask yourself, is it really worth it?